And here we are. All right, ladies and gents, thank you once again for watching all the Titans League action. There's been a lot of it. And while I'm always impressed when people show up to stuff live, because that's a lot harder to do, I have been more impressed with just how many people have been watching the videos, because I created an extra channel, right? That's not normally something that has a lot of success. We've surpassed 10,000 subscribers on that channel. We're getting like crazy amounts of views. And so there's just interest in Titans League. And so on your screens, you will have already seen or are currently seeing the results for Group A up to this point. We've had Nikov here in Group A, who's been moving. So he's going to be playing catch up with his sets. But, you know, everybody else at the top of the group, it's looking pretty strong so far, right? You've got ACCM Doubt. And shoot, I just forgot the other person. It's not actually on my screen. It's edited later. Oh, running. Yeah, and that's a big talking point, because the very first week here in Group A, Vinchester was up against a promoted player in running who won 2-1 against Vinch. Vinch was the Season 1 champion, guys. He won 13 out of 15 games in the first season, and then won the whole thing. So, anyways, the point is you're kind of looking at Vinchester like, dude, like, are you going to step it up here? And then Valas, he was a promoted player. He went 13-2, or maybe it was 12-3 in Gold League. And he came in and didn't look good against ACCM. That said, I will say that ACCM looked like an absolute god. And if ACCM continues to play like that, he might even be favored to win Group A. But just interesting times, because Valas comes in with 0 wins and Vinchester comes in with 1 win. Not the type of conversation you would have been expecting to have between these two names. Valas plays here as the Bohemians, and then we have Vinchester playing as the Turks. We will have a lot of conversation on like scouts and competing for relics and late game comps. But I do just want to backtrack a little bit to, again, say thank you for everyone who eventually watches on a video. Because it's really cool to be able to run something like this, but upload them and then also still have good viewership, because it was just not an option with how I run my main YouTube channel to just spam sets out. And in the past, over many years, I would cast tournaments, and sometimes the sets would just like never see video form. So, you know, shout out to Hardy and Kaylee and everyone who's been working hard to help me out, obviously, on my team. But anyways, just thanks. It's motivating. So, and 4K quality on YouTube. It's pretty sick. I'm happy with that. It's been a bit since I've seen Bohemians versus Turks. This is by no means a surprising matchup on Arena. But it feels like either Bohemians or Turks are bans. But the way I see the matchup is that Turks should always play into Light Cav to get the relics. And if they do that and get into their own bombard cannons with some Hussars and Cav Archers, I think I prefer them. But you could argue that Bohemians have the better peak, I guess. I think there's a stage in early Imp where playing the Bohemians can be a little bit easier. But the thing I'd like to see here, and actually I'm not going to say it that way. I'm going to reword it and say, the thing I'm unsure on here is, do you try and compete for the relics as the Bohemians? Because if you try and play that Light Cav game, you're investing a whole lot into it compared to the Turk player. And you're delaying your economy, which you most definitely need. You probably can't just give up the relics. Maybe you see these relics are close by to you, so you try and go Spearman Monk and just get 2 of them instead of trying to get the far ones. Maybe I like that more. But yeah. Binged all the sets on T90 Extras. First day I've seen all the sets live. Loving TTL. Yo, thank you. Will Wall on Black Forest ever be casted by you? I remember you'd submitted the rec. And I think back then the recorded games were broken. Do you remember that? TJB, if you still have it, do me a favor. I don't extend this courtesy to many other people. Could you try and PM me that on Discord? And I will see if I can get a response out to you. That might have actually been on the previous patch. I don't know, especially this month because I'm so busy. Probably not. You check the rec and it runs. Oh, you did message me already? Oh, awkward. Message me again. Message me again. I could definitely see that being something I want to mix into my videos in March. Because I will be away from making content for like a week and a half, 2 weeks in March. As I'll be at NAC. All that stuff will be streamed on Nilly's channel, but also this channel, so there'll still be content, but I won't be like recording anything apart from that. So, okay, and I just got your message. Okay, I'm gonna leave you on unread for now, so that notification is always there until I feel like checking it out. Cool. Anyways, 24 pop up for Valas. Interesting farm spots. Farming around the mill. Let's go. It's not bad. You just don't see that a lot. And I think we're just going to see Blacksmith Market from him. This is just going to be a fast uptime. It really felt like he couldn't keep pace with ACCM. And with how ACCM played, there's probably a lot of other people that also can't keep pace. But, you know, it's something I'll be looking for today because Vinchester's quite speedy as well. I don't know if Vinchester's style is quite as in-your-face as ACCM style was. Vinch is more like the annoying little micro that adds up. ACCM was like, hi, I'm here, you're dead. But I'm assuming this will be... Well, maybe... Actually, I think he's sending more to gold solely so he can buy food for his boom. I don't think double monastery would make any sort of sense because you're going to have this on the other side from Vinchester. Yo, thank you for the stars. Says thanks for the great TTL content. Strange that you haven't mentioned the Vikings at all today. Smiley face. Well, they didn't get picked on the draft, okay? And if they got picked on the draft, they would have horrible defense. And on 4th and 8, they would, or 4th and 12, they would throw a 4-yard pass to a player who was covered. All right, so, you know, the maps just aren't very good for the Vikings. That's why. And that, you know what? We're done. Being a Vikings fan is a life of pain and misery, and I'm hoping that someday all my stress and sadness will be worth it. But I'm expecting to be that old, decrepit man who is complaining about the 2009 season where the refs completely screwed over the Vikings in Bounty Gate, and just the long list of wasted opportunities about my team. Oh, whoa. Okay, actually, this is bad for Vinch. Vinch, you get out of here, bro. What are you doing? That's amazing for Valas. He can heal up this scout if he wishes to. If he doesn't make monks, I guess it's not really the most important thing. But Vinchester was going to get light cap here soon. So. Oh my god, I didn't share the Rex again. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, the Rex have been shared. No, we're fine. We're fine. JBR saved me. Dude, I can't. I struggle so much having to share the Rex with anyone else who wants to cover this and also doing everything else I have to do. But it's already been shared by JBR. JB and I will have to talk about that. I keep thinking I'm just going to do better. But yeah, again, I'm trying to talk to an audience and do everything else. So we'll have to figure it out. But everything's good. Thank you, JBR. So Scout's going to be healed up here. I'm a little surprised that we have not seen the TC before the monastery. Because, as I've said, like, the Turks are able to be so competitive here with the free light cab upgrade. And we saw the wood and the farming upgrade come in here for Valas. He's adding Spearman too. And he's hoping to move out here and get these relics. No second town center for him yet. Second town center for Vinch. Only coming in with one Vil, so he's taking his time, but his monks are on the way. Now, here's the thing. The monks, they don't get killed by spearmen. They get killed by scouts and light cav. And they can also convert the spearmen pretty easily. So if it gets to a point where Vinchester's got like 2 or 3 monks on the field, the spearman play never looks all that exciting. Now, if there would be a conversion there, that could obviously change things. And Valas might just be hoping to get 2 relics, right? If he could snag these, I think he's going to be a happy camper. Vinch's micro. He's going to know that those monks are out there. He's trying to use this guy here on the left, too. Okay. And Valas is going to try and get the forward ones. He's confident. He actually still working on that conversion. And sometimes people can regret this. And he converts the light cav. He was converting for a long time there. Converting the light cav is super nice. Does also protect this monk, who now heals up the light cav. And suddenly Vinchester's got more to worry about. All right. That brings a good question. If someone wanted to get into casting, is there a casting community Discord out there? Every event has its own Discord where it has information on where to watch the games. So every single event that will ever happen, well, maybe not every single one that ever happens, but look at this. Valas is playing very nice so far. But yeah, if you ever want to try it, I mean, streaming is free, right? Casting with Capture Age is free unless you want the pro version. It's all possible for you to do. Highly encourage it if you think you're going to have a fun time. So a couple old men have died. It sucks for them, but good for their people that the relics have been brought in. It's 39 eco versus 38, and I think things have gone better for Valas here than I was initially expecting. Still should probably get 2 relics. And maybe it's just me, but I feel like it's worth getting Fervor at this stage. It applies to your villagers as well with this civilization. So faster monks, faster vills, you've got the gold. I know you need more monks, and I know Vinchester's just going to keep killing you. But I think it's worth it. The scout did go down there for Valas, but he still has a light cav, which he could be using to be able to snipe the monks from Vinchester. But he still feels like this is a freebie, and that this is the one he wants to be competitive for now. And you really don't want to lose that light cav, because that's your best tool to kill any enemy units. And, well, Vinchester kills the light cav, kills the monk, and now I think you're going to see Vinchester's monks just convert the spearmen. And I'd be shocked if Valas has any chance at this relic. Unless Vinchester makes big mistakes. It should be 3-2. But, like, we see a 4th TC for Valas now. He's had his wood upgrade, and he's had his farm upgrade. His idle TC time has been way less than Vinchester. Valas' booming is crazy. And I can get Fervor, man. So 7-4 KD for Vinchester, but I normally would expect the light cap player to have the better KD, to have the better of the situation in the middle. And 3 relics is 3-2 with relics, sorry, isn't too bad for Valas, all things considered. Now, no Sanctity. Sanctity and Fervor will apply to the Bohemian villagers as well. All right, so the next thing that I think is super valuable here. You're extending your boom with the 4th town center. It's not something you see all the time because it delays your imp. You do not want to delay your imp and then have the Turks take map control, and then with said map control, castle drop you, and then have instant bombard cannons. Like, this is so good from Vinch. This is literally what I'm going to go talk about. I think at this stage, you actually need to be thinking about going like pikemen and a couple more monks if you're Valas, just to take the middle. And if you're the one that's applying a little bit of pressure, even if you lose that area, it gives all your eco time. And it gives you time to prep more buildings. Interesting. You can tell how important this is for Vinchester because he sending a few more villagers. He even deleted the light cav. He didn't want that light cav to see this if it got converted. And he could make a mangonel here, but there goes Vinch on the way up. He's been on stone, so he's thinking about a castle. Yes, Bohemians can research chemistry in the Castle Age, but what they're not able to do is they're not able to have instant chemistry like the Turks. The Turks don't even have to pay for it. That said, Valas is going to have a crazy Vill lead. Because Vinch is currently 3 TCs, 2 TCs creating Vills. Because of Imp. Valas has 4 TCs producing Vills. And then, once he clicks up to Imp, he'll still have 3 TCs producing Vills. So we're talking like 30, maybe 35 villager lead, but Valas is not going to have bombard cannons. So it puts him under a little bit of pressure, but it's not that crazy. He's just clicked up now. And obviously he's going to have the economy to be able to research chemistry while he's on his way to imp. So remember, both players desperate for victories. Game 1 being arena here, a bit more strategic. Neither of these civilizations are poor on this map. Both civilizations are fantastic. Valas, though, without vision on what his opponent's going for. Vinch's eco seems so weak, though. He's getting bloodlines. He's getting fletching. He's pretty much just going to have like one bombard cannon, one treb, and then a couple janissaries in imp. Meanwhile, double siege workshop for Valas. Pikemen. And this economy's flying, man. There it is. 19,000 resources. And drops a castle there. Obviously, that's a little awkward. I'm not sure if he would place that if he knew that Vinchester had his castle here. He never even sent a single unit out there to try and spot something. What died there? Was that a janissary deleted? I think it was. Vinchester's deleted a lot of units this game. Double bombard cannon for Vinch. So he'll start winning that race. 79 villagers versus 100. When you think of this matchup, you just think of the cannons, man. Monk gets shot down. Castle spotted. Bombard cannons should go. Ooh, after the siege workshop. Okay. That's an option. But Valas can just make another siege workshop. I don't love it. I don't hate it. You know, I can kind of understand what he's going for. He is denying this siege workshop at the same time. This is so much pressure, and we have the Hoof Needs upgrade now. Crazy. But Vinch, he's going to have cannon numbers. And you can also just get artillery with the Turks, which gives you 14 range bombard cannons. So you might not have the superior cannons in terms of damage output, but bombard cannons are still stupid good. Think of the resources Valas is investing into just getting that upgrade. Doesn't really have a whole lot else. Love this from Vinchester. A couple of janissaries protecting the cannons and just non-stop pressure. And now we see artillery. Also, Vinch is being so annoying. Taking out the market now because Valas might need the market to balance his economy. If he took out this siege workshop, it might genuinely be over. But obviously, he doesn't know the research is coming in there. Vinchester, non-stop pressure since imp. Bill count also has closed in a little bit. As Valas has been pressured as we see siege engineers to give him +1 range on his eventual bombard cannons. Oh, big shot. Okay, that's a good shot. That's actually an amazing shot. Vinch sees the bombard cannon. It's getting repaired. Panic. The Hussars are coming in too. There's not many pikemen. Vinchester will take the relics. Vinchester will take the siege workshop now. But the upgrade's already in. It's 2 cannons and 7 pikemen for Valas. I don't know. Like, you've got to take these bombard cannons out to have a chance. Vinchester knowing that. He's just letting the Hussars do their thing. Microing there. Takes out one of the 2. He's going to take out both of them. There's no way he doesn't take out both of these. He's got janissaries and he's got the bombard cannons. And Vinchester has shown me, and I think shown everybody else, that he just knew how to pressure these Bohemians. And when to pressure these Bohemians. I think artillery this early is not something that Valas was really... not Valas, sorry, Valas. They're both from Finland, and their names are so similar. I don't think it was something that he was really expecting. One small thing here, though, is I would love to see Vinchester steal the relics. Because there is a slight chance that Valas pushes you back. So, with that being an opportunity, you know, with that being a possibility, I guess I should have said, you absolutely need to snag those relics if you can. It's hard to know when you're sitting back on 4 town centers with no vision on the map. it's really hard to know what your opponent's going to open with. And I think there's a good opportunity for the Turks to go Hussar, Cav Archer. Like, I don't think they necessarily have to. Vinchester with the big attack rounds. You know, I really don't think they have to, as more cannons die, go for this. Though it is always a possibility. Vinchester's made this look very easy. He's had the Vil lead for a while now. He is losing units, but he's still pressuring castles. His Hussars here won't take out these cannons. Valas does have 2 more on the way. Feels like this is Valas' last stand. If he can make more cannons and save this castle and push out, then he's maybe has a chance here. The cannons are wrecking the Janissaries. Still so low on gold. Will lose his castle now. Valas' micro has been way better than I'm maybe even giving him credit for. It's just talking about game theory stuff as Vinchester continues to pressure nonstop. But Vinch has just made this all look really easy. And of course, he's got the gold control in the middle. Going to take out this town center. Makes it more difficult for Valas to reboom. Vinch, back away. There you go. Don't want a repeat of what happened to Sato versus Valeza the other day. And now I think if you wanted that Cav Archer switch, you could absolutely do it if you're Vinch. Honestly, you could just go full Hussars, though. Like, just catch up on Hussar upgrades, because... yeah, you got it. You're already in the position to close out this game. Tech switching can take a little bit more time than maybe you'd like. And the Hussars don't even need to be used for these. Look at Vinch running side to side, picking off, side to side, picking off. But yeah, just send the Hussars into this area. Technical, crazy play here from Vinchester. But he knew the timing, right? Like, I think if players are playing it properly, I think that the Turks are better than the Bohemians on Arena these days because of the light cav and because of free Hussar and fast chemistry. Bohemians just need a little bit more time. It was like if the Hufnitze upgrade researched a minute faster, then I think Bohemians would maybe be better. So I guess at the end of the day, it's still like a really close Civ matchup. How did that die? I guess the Janissaries here. Yeah, and this is where the GG will be called. Valas drops that GG, and Vinchester wins. 49-1 Eco KD, 108 kills, 73 deaths for Vinchester. And it was that faster imp that ended up making the difference there. His micro is so good. It was beautiful play from Vinch, right? He knew the bombard cannons were the difference maker. He also knew he didn't need to really commit to that big of a meat shield. Like, a lot of players on Arena, they delay their push a little bit more in order to have 15, 20, 25, 30 units with their cannons. But for Vinch, what time did they hit imp this game? 26:55 for him. Okay, let's look at like 27:30. Or let's make it 28 minutes. He's got 4 Janissaries. 6 Hussars. Like, he's got... and those are... a lot of them are left over from before. So he just knew he didn't need a lot. But he did so much with so little. Taking out the siege workshops and the villagers making the siege workshops in the castle. All with like less than 20 army. So, the artillery upgrade paying off. I love the fact that we're seeing that more these days. And Turks very dominant on Arena. Vinchester gets a win. Valas still searching for a victory here in Titans League. And he's going to have his work cut out for him, right? But that wasn't his home map, Valas. That was just kind of their neutral ground map. Valas' home map. It's slipping my mind now, actually, is Shoals. Interesting. Also, let me go back to this, actually. So I want to show some of these stats. This is what's interesting. Valas did actually collect more resources. But it was the timing and the unit choice and the momentum of that situation that ended up doing it for Vinchester. But it's not like Valas' boom was bad. I just think what really hurt him was a delayed imp and opening Halb, which then again he kind of had to because his opponent had Hussar. Vinchester just played that so good. All right, so Valas back in the blue, Vinchester back in the red. Here we are, game 2. Valas needs a win, man. I know Vinchester's the beast, but the other promoted player, the 2 players in this group that were expected to maybe get relegated back down because that's how people might see things here in this second season, are Running and Valas, and Running got 2 wins off of Vinch. And Vinch has got to play everyone else. You've got to play everyone else if you're Valas. Like, Hopefully other people don't take as many wins off of Vinchester, and you could get at least one win here and then go into your sets against Nikov and Doubt and ACCM and running and get more victories. So Valas, I guess he's not going up against ACCM again because he did play him already. He's got the Italians here. This is his home map. And Vinchester has the Mongols, and I think this is a very even Civ matchup. Unlike some of the games I've seen before where, like, don't even get me started about Miguel picking Dravidians earlier. Wasn't a big fan of that. But yeah, it's cheaper to go up to the next age with the Italians. The Italians can compete on water very well with the cheaper dock techs and cheaper fishing ships. They also have pretty good land switches. If they need to go for stables, they can absolutely do that. They have good stable upgrades, whether that be the light cav line or the night line. But they also have fantastic archers. They have the condos, which can be useful in some unique situations. They have bombard cannons. And again, that's on the back of being cheaper to go up to the next stage. So it's a really good pick here, I think. And then you have Vinch. And, you know, Vinchester's got the faster hunt. And there's a lot of hunt on this map. And then Mongols have a beastly late game. But that's pretty much it in terms of immediate bonuses. Now, I had said to Dave, who was casting the series earlier today with me, that I think by the time we're in round 4 or 5, that the meta is going to shift towards players going towards a fast castle. Because you've got enough cover fire from the sea tower to protect you for a while with your fishing ships. And you've got so much food with your water buffaloes, with your deer, and with your elephant. So the funny thing is, I've seen an effective fast castle from Mongols. I think that was Jordan who did it. And then I've also seen an effective fast castle from Italians. Wait, that was actually Jordan. No, it was MBL who went fast castle with Mongols. It was Jordan who went fast castle with Italians. So, is it possible that this is the game that starts to shift the meta and we see both players go fast castle and neither player go for 2 dock galleys? We might be witnessing history here. Because again, if you do it right and you fish far away from the tower before the ships could come out, you then still have some fish to take underneath your tower in feudal if they come to fight you. And if you balance your eco right, you can absolutely still compete for water in Castle Age and do everything else. So, lots of things to talk about. I would lean more towards the Italians going for the fast castle play. Mongols tend to be more aggressive with all that early food. It doesn't feel good to be the Mongols and wait to take advantage of aggression. So, not to mention that when you make it to Castle Age, you still got to pay the full price for the dock techs. You still got to pay the full price for Castle Age. All these things Italians don't have to do. But after that long introduction, after all the possibilities, and after all the excitement from me, I don't think we're going to see either player go fast castle. Come on, man. Come on. Vinchester took some damage there from his scout. He's on the way to feudal. Okay, so this is a water build. Now, if Valas is getting loom, he's going to click up the feudal aid. Fine. I think it's a good strat. I really do, but these guys want to fight for water, and that's fine. Live your life. Live your life and be happy. That's all I want. Vinchester's got to be a little careful because he doesn't have loom right now. He went up really fast. We'll see if he's able to produce out of both his docks with this type of an uptime. Oh, trap the scout, kill it. No? Okay. But yeah, Vinch isn't really walling, so he should be okay. He should save his water buffalo, though. Steal them! Steal it! Steal it! Valas! Bro! It's T90 Titans League! Steal it! Oh, God. What the... Oh, my God! You did... Great play from Vinchester. He traps the scout. Valas has got to be a little better there, honestly. Super unlucky, right? That his scout pathed in there. But clearly wasn't paying attention, and I'm not trying to diss Vinchester or anything, but I feel like the majority of the players in silver, gold, or platinum would just get those palisades down there, and it was a long journey into the wood line. and now your scout's dead on a map where you have to have vision on the rest of the map. That, I mean, he did the same thing here too, right? Like, I was thinking quick palisades there. I don't think anyone silver's going to get that. But here we are. The galley opening for Vinchester. Good production from him. As for Valas, he's now stuck in the dark, and he's probably a bit scared of the dark. He's got 2 fishing ships, by the way, and he's not fishing underneath the sea tower. And I mean, we talked about it, right? We talked about fishing underneath that sea tower, and now you've lost both fishing ships. Might have lost them anyways. But talk about a game going horribly for somebody. You have no scout. You have no fish. Your opponent has 3 fishing ships, and Vinchester's playing it perfectly. He's Mongols. He's going to scout the map. He's Mongols. He's taking more hunts. This is Vinchester's game to lose, guys. 3-0 KD, but some really important kills now. Hey, T90, which tourney is this? Okay, well, somebody did respond to you and said, is this a joke? And you haven't responded to that person yet? So I'm going to give an intro, and it's going to be the best intro you've ever heard. This is T90 Titans League. There you go. Get hyped. Also, I don't hate Mondays as much as I used to, but I completely understand you hating Mondays. Having to get back to work and whatnot. Remember that time where we said this was bad for Valas? It's looking bad again. As he tried to move forward there to get some kills, and instead he killed 1 and lost 2. And Vinchester adding a stable now. Again, Vinchester's scout can be active on the map and see exactly what Valas is doing. So many players are not going to shift onto land because people are going to be thinking that now that are watching. Why not go barracks? Well, your opponent will see it. They'll know. It's not going to surprise anybody. So a lot of times you just try and rebound on water till Castle Age. And Vinchester will see the blacksmith, and he's just looking to see if he can find anything of importance. That's actually nice for the long term, because that's one of 2 golds that you start with as a player here on Shoals. If he went here, I wonder if he could actually see that gold. Let's look at resources collected. Painful. Like, and Mongols are going to have this, right? It's just what Italians, in theory, are supposed to do is they don't have to spend as much to go up to the next stage, and then they can dominate water a bit easier. But you don't really have any crazy bonuses on the water, I think, until Castle. Like, cheaper fishing ships only do so much. Cheaper dock techs is awesome. So fast Castle is a splendid idea. Vinchester has a stable. Vinchester added another dock here to maybe hide the fishing ships. And these villagers are moving on over towards the left side to where there's more hunt. Great scouting from Vinchester. And definitely one of those games that I feel Vinchester should honestly just win and dominate in even early Castle Age, as he has the ability to pressure and still hasn't taken any losses on water. I love this Monday because it is the first day after I quit my previous job, and I still have 2 weeks off before my new one starts. Ah, nice. I remember doing that a couple times. I highly suggest it, by the way. If you ever switch jobs and they're like, okay, when do you end at the other job? Tell them like 2 weeks after you actually ended that job. If you can afford it, obviously. You don't want to do it and be like, oh crap, I can't pay rent. But you know, if you can make that happen, it's some unpaid vacation. But there are times when you're working that many people would wish they could take unpaid vacation. They just can't take the time off, you know? Vinchester on the way to Castle. So is Valas, to be fair. He also didn't have to use the market or anything crazy to buy his way up. He was also back on 4 fishing ships. That was a nice sneaky play from him. I like to see that. And Vinchester is, yeah, you could tell he accidentally came back home, so he's probably going to drop a mill here. He's using his scout here to see what we have, and he sees a barracks from Valas. So now he knows Valas will have no stable, at least for the time being. I like that from Valas, though, shooting that deer. The deer just pathed right into his TC. I subbed the other day, but still not saying it's gone through for some reason. But it's taken my money. Any idea why, T90? Do me a favor if you're in the Discord and leave a message. I personally don't have an idea, but I can report it if you just give me details. I have some people I can talk to about that. Also, these villagers, Vinchester, can you just stop walking back to your base? Thank you. Vinchester's got lots of res. He's gonna go step lances. Yeah, I did hear from a couple other creators that they had viewers having some issues with subbing, but I didn't hear specifics. So it could be something along those lines. So I will make sure to keep an eye on the Discord. There's a feedback room in there. Someone can link the Discord for you, but there's a feedback room in there. So just give the details and I'll see what I can pass along for you. Okay, so TC on this all-important gold and on stone for Vinch. And he also drops the town center here. Resources collected in this game. Still Vinchester's ahead. And he's obviously got that map vision. I think Valas realizes this is bad, but he's just going to try his best to... well, you know, maybe he's going to try his best to just get relics. And then eventually shift over towards the side. There's the fire ship action from Vinchester, who's no bodkin arrow, but Valas does. And obviously the sea tower is helpful too, because that's affected by that upgrade. So nice job. And personally, I just prefer to see a couple more fires here from Valas, but nice defense there of his fishing ships. He needed that. What he also needs is gold, right? Like, he's no vision over here. And he has no vision over here. And Vinchester's just waiting. Vinchester's going to have the stone in a second. I think if Vinchester's playing tip-top form, he's going to make an outpost here. Very underrated to do that in this situation, I think. And I don't think Vinchester will be too concerned about the whole fishing situation, but he is still making fires to compete here. And it is worth mentioning he's got no horse color for this farm transition. And Valas is... he showed in the previous game how good his farming eco can be on a full boom. The Step Lancers had forging and all that. Didn't see an effect. It's almost like Vinch is waiting for Vils to show up here. Again, will Vinchester make an outpost? It feels like he's just... that's his win condition, is keep his opponent away from those golds right now. Thanks for linking that to him, by the way, guys. Monks could convert fire ships. Step Lancers looking to get in. And oh, God. This actually could be good for Valas. If he realizes right away... okay, well, he's lost 2 Vils. He's lost 3 Vils. He's lost 4 Vils. He's lost 5 Vils. Oh, God. And now he's going to lose the monk. Oh, well, he got a conversion on the Step Lancer. That was hurtful, though. Like, if he garrisons there and then re-walls, it's okay. My concern for him was, does he realize he's got a hole here? He deleted that so these villagers could escape to this TC. That's the thing, though. When you're under pressure, it doesn't take long for things to snowball on you. As Vinchester goes for TC number 4, very similar to the TC he had placed on the other side. Step Lancer's looking around. He might even come over here to take a peek. Again, I think outposts could be really helpful here for Vinch. He's clearly banking up the stone for a castle. And he now sees that there were villagers on this gold, but there aren't villagers on that gold any longer. Again, you've got to be thinking gold. Gold, 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 gold. Market for Vinch, dang. I'd feel like with 4 town centers, he needs to buy a little bit of food here. Pokey poke there from the Step Lancers on the Spearmen. Still wondering, will Valas be able to take control of one of these sides? Vinchester doesn't have army everywhere. Vinchester's still fishing, by the way. I think you just give up on fires for the time being if you're Vinchester. I think you're happy with your land control. Vinchester buying the stone. For which side? He's got the army here, so that would allow him to place it freely. But I think he's not expecting his opponent to actually have army. So he figures army secures this gold, castle secures this gold. This is the problem for Valas. He just doesn't have any control over these golds. He can't even take this gold comfortably. He does have a lot of farms. And the farms are looking very nice as well, I must say. So I think he's going to go monks. He's going to move out with the monks, try and protect the villagers and drop a castle. And then his thought process could be imp from there. The Steppe Lancers were to run into that farming eco. It wouldn't be good, but Valas garrisons, okay. Almost baiting them in as we see the Town Watch upgrade. I don't think he'll actually see that castle after Town Watch. I think he's just going to miss out on it. But you can see that he's thinking of coming over here. Yeah, he does miss it. Vinch, though, sees the outpost. So now he's looking immediately. He's like, what's going on here? And it's going to be a scout, and it's going to be 2 Steppe Lancers killing this villager. But still no vision on there being a castle if you're Valas. So now do you send the monks this way and try and castle here? Because this area you're losing units? I think that's the answer. It's like castle here and then imp to treb it down. And oh, Vinch is going to drop a castle already. Vinch is just playing so good today, guys. Like, I think, you know, there was a disastrous moment at the start of this game, but that's only if Vinchester takes advantage of everything perfectly. What you don't want if you're Vinch is to lose these Steppe Lancers, because that could be a problem. Okay. Awkward moments for Valas. Oh, he's going to place it closer. Oh, God. No. Don't donate the Steppe Lancers. No. Vinchester. No. Keep clicking. Villagers, click. Hit with those hammers. It's hammer time. I'm shocked that Valas is trying to build his castle here, but he might feel like he has to. And his castle's at 70%. Now the Steppe Lancers could probably come in. The shots have actually gone for the monks. So the villagers will complete the castle. And all right. Both players are on the way to the Imperial Age. Vinchester is faster. And he's going to make castle number 2 here. And I'm sure you might have noticed this already, but Valas doesn't have gold. So he might petard this down, which will take some time. He might want to make bombard cannons, but he still doesn't have gold control. Petards would have been smart from both players. I'm a little surprised Vinch hasn't done that. It just makes sense. Castle v castle, petards can make the difference there, but ultimately he doesn't need it if he also has this castle back here. But maybe we'll regret that. Like, maybe he will regret that because there will be 2 castles for Valas. 13-1 eco KD this game. Vinchester's been on top of it there. He is ahead in the Vil count. He's now going to try and hop into his castle and then out of his castle to take out the ram. And then back inside and back out the other side. Kind of funny. These things will die soon because the petard will hop out and yeah, there now the units are stuck. It's kind of funny actually. Anyways, Treb's on the way here for Vinch. Over here, Vinch is just not doing much except a small little raid. Just keeping an eye on this area. I'm sure he knows this could turn into a Treb war on that side too. And we have some ranged upgrades for Valas. We've got Genoese crossbowmen so far and a couple monks. But he's going to try and go Treb war against Vinchester. This is all the gold he has, and then he has 2 relics. Surprised Vinch doesn't have another castle yet. There it is. We now have Bracer. We now have Chemistry and Ballistics. But I guess the answer is going to be Bombard Cannon for Valas, so he knows that Mongols don't have access to that. But again, like, in my eyes, you still don't have gold for these things. So you're going to have to sell excess wood and food, and that only lasts so long. He's already at a pretty low price for selling food. Not to mention the main problem of, like, Mongols, their Mangudai are amazing against siege. So the Bombard Cannons probably won't survive all that long. It just feels like you have such a unit composition problem now if you're Valas, simply due to the fact that you don't have gold. How many petards to kill a castle? 8. 8 if they're full HP. It's 5 for a town center if they're full HP. And assuming there's no HP upgrades. And no, the HP does not go up on a castle in him, but you can get techs that do. So Masonry adds more HP, which is what Valas did, which is why he's at 5,300 HP. Good job from Valas there. Like, he has the stone, and he clearly wants to drop a castle. But he realized his opponent had trebs, so he's just going to wait. I mean, if he had Skirmisher, like Skirmisher, Genoese, Bombard Cannon, I think he could actually push this. So there is a slight chance. It's not like Vinchester has that many Mangudai here. And no elite Mangudai either. Obviously something that Vinchester is going to take some time to get, but... Oh man, even the Siege Workshop's being trapped down. It seems similar to the previous game. Vinch is like, if I keep you from your cannons, you can't kill me here. And so he's trying his best, and Valas is trying to repair it. Not something you see every day. And then the Bombard Cannons have to back away. This is funny, man. There's a Bombard Cannon at 70% in there. And Valas absolutely needs it. And Vinch knows it. And no way! It's denied! So crazy. Such a Vinchester move. Also, little raid over here. Trebs will take out the TC. Valas has all of his attention on the other side. And Vinchester now takes out one. He could take out two. And even take out the Trebs afterwards on this side. It just doesn't really seem like Valas is going to have his way here in Titans League Platinum if this continues. Like, honestly, I think Vinchester is playing peak Vinchester today. And, you know, I guess the fact that he didn't play peak Vinchester against Running and that Running had a crazy showing in the first week makes things look really bad for Valas in this group, right? We'll of course have to see. You know, there will be more weeks. But Mongols with 3 castles in the same spot. There's Elite Mangudai. That's the ticket right there. Pretty sure he has Thumb Ring. He has Parthian. So he has most of the other upgrades. It's not every day you see fully upgraded Elite Mangudai. Couple Mangudai in the back here of Ace. You've got to deal with that probably. But you also always have to push. Because if you're not pushing, you're going to lose. With no access to gold. So Vinch is just being patient. He knows he just needs more Mangudai to hold this. And he's just going to wait it out. And as maybe some units will go over here to deal with this, I don't know. This is where the game's going to end. Vinch just simply needs to kill the Bombard Cannons and the Trebs. Or the Genoese Crossbowmen, because if you kill the Genoese Crossbowmen, you're going to kill the Bombard Cannons and the Trebs. Not sure where Vinch is going with his Trebs. It almost feels like he knows he's going to be able to take out this castle and deny this one. And yeah. But listen, like, you know, it was just not a very clean, situation with the scout from Valas. And I also think if you want to make the most use of your bonuses on this map, instead of trying to compete with Mongols on water, just fish boom into a fast castle, take advantage of your cheaper dock techs and your cheaper age up. That's a preference thing for me. But, you know, Valas, he lost his scout and he lost 2 fishing ships. It was a 3-0 KD that mattered so much in the early stages. And then Vinchester just took all the hunt. He scouted exactly what Valas was doing. And Vinchester then scouted the golds. Like, that was just a clinic from Vinchester. It's one of those that the KD actually shows how badly lopsided the game was. 60 kills and 1 death there for Vinch. Anyways, GG. Remember, the goal for Valas remains the same, right? Obviously, it looks great for Vinch right now. Looks like Vinch is going to win the 3rd game. If he doesn't, then Vinchester only has 3 wins after 2 sets, and Valas will still be feeling better about life. But I think you absolutely have to avoid that 3-0 if you're Valas to feel good about the future. We'll switch the colors again here as we enter game 3. And whoa! Interesting. I say whoa because of this hill. That's not something we've seen that frequently in Ghost. Like, normally the hills are more towards the corner. But yeah, game 3. For Valas, he still needs a win. You get 1 win here, you figure, great. I got to win against Vinchester. I still get some good wins off of some other people in the group and see what we can, you know, do as we move forward. Tatar's great pick here. There's lots of extra sheep in the middle. So you should absolutely be doing what Valas is doing. But, man, he misses those sheep. Kind of reminds me of Hera earlier Hopefully it's not quite that bad. I think Hera found extra sheep. No! Oh my god! No! Oh, you can't find the sheep, man. There's extra sheep. You gotta find some sheep. Ah, Vinch is gonna find those sheep. And the worst part about it, too, is that Vinchester's sheep are gonna find sheep if Vinchester's smart about it. Okay, found one. They're normally in groups of 2. Okay, suddenly life isn't so bad. You get extra food on your sheep with the Tatars, so it's a great reason to pick this civ. Main gold, very exposed for both players. Always is on this map. The other golds are normally the golds you take in early stages. Wall-off potential for Vinch is great. Really like his map. And I just like his map more because he doesn't have this. Like, Valas can absolutely work with this map. He can drop town centers, he can boom, he can wall. But if he ever loses this hill, it's obviously a really big problem. Though we are talking about the Tatars, who do more damage when fighting on top of hills. So if there was ever a civilization to control a hill, it would maybe be the Tatars. I don't think it's fair to say that Valas hasn't looked very good. I just think that everyone else has looked like they're on fire against him. You know, like the previous game was bad, right? But game 1 arena wasn't a bad game from Valas. I think he had the slightly worse civ. That's just, you know, the way I see that matchup. And Vinchester played it to perfection. Game 2, I disagree with his unit control with the scout and think that could have been better. Versus ACCM, you know, it was a strong mix, though, of maybe being the first series for Valas in a while. And then also ACCM playing like it was, you know, a play all 3 for $7 billion. Like, dude, ACCM's play was incredible. But Vinch has played very clean today, I agree. And again, Vinchester was the winner of the first season. This is the conversation you would expect to have with Vinchester versus a promoted player. Which makes it all the more crazy that we didn't have that with running. I'm really excited to see more of running. Because he got 2 wins off of Vinch, and then he got 3-0'd by Doubt. So, like, if you win one game here, if you're Valas, you're on 1 win, running is on 2, and then I think you got, like, someone else on 3. Vinchester would actually be on 3. Which means all those, you know, players are all, like, 1 good series away from surpassing the other one. But getting double 3-0'd it just doesn't look good for you. You know, it puts you under pressure to get 3-0s as opposed to getting 2-1s in future rounds. And I think every player is capable of getting 2-1s. Don't know if every player is capable of getting a 3-0 for certain players out there. But okay, we've got Valas walling up this annoying hill. He's pushing in even extra food. On this side, we've got Vinch, and he's going to click up. And this will be a feudal play from him with the Chinese. However, he's timing the barracks like I think he wants to go for, like, militia. You never see Chinese go barracks before second lumber camp. Is he going to add militia? Go to gold? I don't think so. Okay, a bit of an interesting build for Vinch. It's not a bad build. It's just a bit different. It's still a good build. It's just a different order. So, you know, that's why they call it a build order. Also, something that hurts Vinchester is the fact he didn't scout this and wall this way. If he realized that there was a stone there, I think he would have just gone full wall here. Might not realize there's a hole in the back, or, you know, that just might not be as much of the map locked down for him in the long run. Meanwhile, I think Valas is going fast castle. Vinchester will be in feudal age soon, and you've got to get those walls down if you're Valas. The craziest thing to go fast castle on a map like this. But you have to get those walls down before Vinchester can get in with the rest of the scouts. Or whatever else he's going to add. Okay, you ready? We're going to have a gate. A double gate from Valas. Oh, he built... Oh, okay. He did double gate it, actually. I expected him to do the more difficult one. But why do that when you can do the simple gate and boom! Ah! Not Valas' day, dude. Not Valas' day. Are you kidding me? It feels like the AoE gods hate him right now. He does get the walls down. He will be safe from whatever pressure Vinchester goes for. Vinchester's actually not going for pressure. Vinchester is going to go for the... well, he might, actually. He just doesn't have the wood for the range yet. But for now, Vinchester's gone for some eco upgrades, and yeah, they're his archer range. I think Valas has enough confidence in himself with a boom and a decent enough map where he could go Blacksmith Market, Fast Castle, into a second TC. However, should you? Like, you know, the previous game was an issue because you were booming with no map control with no scout. Game 1, you overboomed a little bit. You've lacked map control in general. You could instead go for an archer range. Go for a stable. Yeah, something where when you're in Castle Age, you can actually push back. And so I like this for Valas. Okay. Lower ranked scout's going to win. I'm telling you, man, I don't know what it is, but it always feels like the higher elo player wins the scout wars. But it was a really good play to kill Vinchester's scout because otherwise Vinchester would see this. Oh, he forgot to go to gold. Interesting. Is he going to sell his stone here? I could see him selling 100 stone and not all of it. But it feels like you never want to do that because on this map you want to boom. He actually might sell 100 food. Watch, he'll complete the mining camp, so these villagers will drop off 30 or 40, and then he sells the wood. Okay, there he goes. Do you think Backed is good enough that he won't get relegated? I think Backed is absolutely good enough to not get relegated. He took a game off of Leary from his like first competitive series back from retirement. If he can take a game off of Leary, he could win against other people in that group. I think in Group B, I'm going to list it from off the top of my head. You've got you have Leary, Yo, MBL, and then you have Draken, Dark, and Backed. And I think Backed can beat Dark, and I think Backed can beat Draken. And if you can get another win from MBL or another win from Yo, combined with, you know, a win against some of those other players, I think he's in a good spot. He did look shaky. Like, he didn't look like the best Backed I've ever seen, but he looked very solid. Like, way better than I expected him, so. Okay, farming eco behind this. Scout kills an archer. Now Vinch is going to be like, I thought I killed that scout. So he'll know there's a stable somewhere. Vinchester also on the way to Castle Age. Key for him will be walls, which he has, but then also army control. And I think it might just be a knight for Valas into a second TC. But I think it's important for him to see what Vinchester's doing. Besides just knowing it's archers, how much commitment does Vinchester have? He might not actually know where Vinchester is right now, so that's part of the problem. And he wanted to make a step lancer, but he got housed. But okay, that's fine. The mark of a champion is the results you can get when you aren't at your best. I don't know about mark of a champion, but the mark of a really good player. Yeah. Or, you know, like, mark of a champion is... Maybe the standards are a little bit higher, but... Being able to pull out results when things haven't gone your way is absolutely what the best players want to do. And that applies to everything, right? Like, that applies to sports, too. Like, you have a lot of really good teams who somehow just get wins when they have a bad game. Valas is playing like Liverpool, lol. I'll chime in on the Liverpool jokes. I'll laugh at that one. Second TC for Vinchester. And again, he's got a lot of army here. And he won't have Odd Canary right away, but he will see a TC. Any other map, and what you do is you see a forward siege workshop from Vinch. But players are pretty far away. And again, look at Valis' scouting. Like, I know that it might seem critical, but he scouted this instead of seeing if it's 1 or 2 range commitment. And so now he creates more work for himself. I'm not saying he can't manage it. He can absolutely manage it. But, you know, just something to think about here. Like, you know, you're going to be under some pressure. Great damage control here, though. Siege Workshop was going to be needed anyways. And he goes for a Mangonel. Sheep are trying to escape as they change hands. Vinchester will go eat them now. Step Lancers were trying to break in here. Vinchester not allowing that. I think Vinchester will just hold the hill. It feels like an area you're going to want to control. But for Vinchester, I'm sure he's pretty happy here to just pick away at these farms. Super annoying, right? And if you force the Siege Workshop, you know that your opponent probably didn't go for the third town center. And Vinchester's up 2-0. He's full of confidence. It's not a great feeling if you're Valas right now. Look at that. Like, you could easily just run away and not be a micro nerd. But nope, I'm Vinchester. Hi, I like to kill things. I'm having fun. Again, he's got to be careful. The resources are there for another town center. Most people would absolutely do that. There it is now. A couple crossbows stood behind this wood line as well, as he, again, Vinchester still continuing to move around. Sees the siege, not so scared of the siege, but maybe should fear it more. Okay, there he goes. Brings the camel in. Valas has to pull back. Valas with a nice attack rounds. Camel could definitely die to the TC. Vinchester dodging still, and just Vinchester again. Lots of pressure. Now, if Valas were to want another TC, he'd probably want it to protect a wood line. This would have been a good spot, or this. I guess now you might place a TC that's less than ideal over here. Vinchester also has to be careful. I think the house will stay up, but I didn't realize he was still there. And yep, takes out a Scorpion. What changed for Step Lancers to start seeing more playtime? No unit change actually happened. It was just people saw a couple others use it and started to make them. I was in the midst of working on a video showing examples of it at mid-elo, and then all the pros started to do it, so I was a little bummed by how quick, you know, the timeline there. Yeah, Valas does go for that TC on the other side, guys, but again, that's not a TC you necessarily want, and now here we have Vinchester, and he comes in with a knight. But again, Valas, he knows what's up, man. He knows what's up. He's got a monk ready. He's no fool, but he is all under sorts of pressure here, and they're all under all sorts of pressure. Yeah, whatever. Vinchester hasn't won the game, right? It's 8-6 KD. But he's chipped away, and he's killed 4 villagers. Valas's defense has impressed me, though, as he goes for TC number 4. And yeah, this is what he wanted to do in the first place. But yeah, you know, the thing about Step Lancers is that I feel like we're actually at a stage now where people overvalue them a little bit at a high level. Like, people will make them, and they're starting to make them when it's not practical. Like, Vinchester made a bunch of Step Lancers. This was honestly, like, this might have even been 6 months ago now, so maybe it's stupid. But do you guys remember a game on Cross between Hera and Vinchester? I think it might have been in Warlords. And Vinchester made non-stop Step Lancers, and if he would have just made a couple camels, he wins that game. I forget what event it was. But sometimes people now are just making them. I think what is really good about them is that you can go heavy food eco. And then in these situations, there's not as much bumping, so you can kill villagers a little bit faster. We'll see if we have any mods around to do with that link. But in the meantime, don't click the link. Thank you. I think we're going to be adding more mods this week, by the way. Near the end of the week, I think we might add a few more mods. I would say pay attention to the Discord. I will probably post like a little Google Doc thing in the announcements channel. So if you're active enough on the stream and you would like to help deal with you know, random bots or whatever on occasion, or whatever else, and you're interested, it's a very high-paying job of $0, and I say thank you a lot. So, but yeah, keep an eye on the Discord for that. But yeah, I mean, does anyone have any doubts that Vinchester's going to dominate in this game? No. just been all Vinchester. And poor Valas, man. It's like, we know he's a great Black Forest player. We know he's a great boomer. But he's got to turn that into some army control here. He still has plenty of potential to do that if he could maybe get a castle down here. That's the crazy thing. His eco is flying. And Vinchester's army has just been chipping away. It hasn't actually been doing much more than that. I mean, I very rarely comment on the stream, so I probably wouldn't qualify. Nah, it's mainly just to deal with, like, random links. That's the main thing. You know, and it's the thing I'll have to decide on is, yeah, all my mods historically have been a mod on the stream and then also in the Discord, so that's where I'll be a little pickier. But if you're active in the Discord, obviously, we'll see. Vinch coming forward to drop a castle. He doesn't actually have the stone for it yet. And he's gonna... Vinchester's laughing now. I don't know why Vinchester's laughing. Hold on a second. I thought Vinch had more stone. I have to go back. Right before that. Did Vinch do something? I don't know why Vinch laughed. But maybe because he got rocked by a mangonel without noticing. And then obviously he ended up having bigger issues behind this. But like here, he's running away. Okay, running away. Converted camel, but it was deleted. Wait, what? Let's see. Okay, camel. Gonna get converted. What? Wait, what? I see it now. Hold on a second. That's got to be a bug, right? I've never seen that. So here's the deal. Okay, let's go back. This is crazy. All right, so Vinchester is going to lose this camel to a conversion. All right? You can all see it, clear as day. This monk is wallowing this camel, and he says, hey, I want you to be on my side. Now, normally, what you want to do is you want to delete this before it gets converted. That way they can't take it. But watch this. This is slow motion. The conversion comes in. It turns blue. And, and then it dies. Which I didn't realize in the moment. And Vinchester's laughing because he deleted that. So somehow the command of when it was Vinchester still registered there. Which... I've never seen. Now, maybe that is possible. Maybe there's always a very slight chance. But that, to me, you know, maybe it's a little bit of lag between the servers. I do not know. But interesting little moment there. Apparently, that's possible in Age of Empires too. Good to know. Anyways, a whole lot of stuff's going to die over here now, so we should probably focus our attention there. But whoa. Okay. You know, it could also be the camel might have wanted to not live any longer because he knew how bad it was going to be in Valas' town. I think that's actually it. The camel was so aware of the situation in this game, it didn't want to survive. It would rather be dead than be on Valas' team. That's possible. Very self-aware camel. But hey, I make that joke because it's an easy joke to make. But Valas could drop a castle and maybe make trebuchets to contest this. So we don't really know yet. We've got a castle on this hill here from Valas. Vinchester, very similar to the first game. I'm still trying to think. Very similar to the first game, is coming forward with a lot of pressure. Does anyone have any other explanations for the camel situation? I'm really trying to rack my brain in this. I mean, Vinchester has applied so much pressure, and Valas has made himself so difficult to break. I don't know about a castle over here, Vinchester. Tatars have the hill. I guess he doesn't see his opponent as an imp yet, so he figures he could drop one here. Got Trebs over here now. We've got... Vinchester still trying to decide on what he makes long term. He's not really making a lot more crossbowmen. That is an awful castle to place. Like, this is a castle you place when you think you've won the series already. I really think that that would be something he would cancel if he knew that Valas was up. And you've got to expect Vinch is up, right? T West will probably be on the case. Yes, T West would definitely look at this. Okay, this is going to be 2 of 4 TCs that have... out of 4 TCs that will have gone down. Now we have Trebs for Valas. I'm still trying to find out what Valas is going to make, man. He's going to go Onager. Not necessarily the worst unit. Especially when your opponent's going crossbow. It seems like Valas has been a little slow to getting army comp going. And him being off of this gold would be the big deal, right? Like, I think Vinchester's got to be pressuring this gold. The fact Vinchester doesn't have any ranged units there is a surprise to me. Remember, Vinchester lost 2-1 in the first series. So every win matters here. He's going to drop a castle here. What does this castle control over the course of the game, Vinchester? Bro. If he loses this game, man, these castles are so bad. And that's why. As villagers take out his trebuchet. I mean, still Vinchester's in a great spot. Don't get me wrong. There's no important resources here. Like, everyone else would place a castle back here or back here. And then, or here even. Like, a double castle here makes a lot more sense. Okay, another Treb for Vinch. He's got to be careful. He's going to lose another Treb. And he's lost the castle now. And he could lose this trebuchet. Now, Valas could see this castle too and Treb that down. Vinchester has no way to defend it. Vinchester still with lots of control over this game, but just now catching up on some upgrades on the cab. But, oh man, is killing villagers. Yeah, he's definitely trying to box him in. I just think you have to box him in if you have army as well. That's my main critique. But I think it's something that Vinchester does when he just knows he can. Like, I think that he feels he's so far ahead that there's absolutely no way that Valas could ever get himself out of this position. And so he can do that. Also, it's really fascinating how Vinchester hasn't taken his main gold yet. Okay, Cav Archers for Tatars, known to be very strong. We've got 9 of them now for Valas. As he will shift Trebs over this way with the Onagers to try and protect his gold and take out that castle. Meanwhile, though, Vinchester will actually be able to Treb down this castle. The hill actually looks more valuable than I thought. And Vinchester will have to give up this side. But, of course, he knows that it's wide open, so he's planning on a Cav raid. 40 farms for Vinchester. And here he comes with a couple of these light Cav, and he just wants to take those Trebs. Something that Valas probably would be able to repair, and the light Cav are very late on upgrades. No real repair there, as I'm sure he's freaking out over here. I would be freaking out too. And I would just feel bested right now. Like, I would have no confidence. So Valas continues to fight here, and he will land some big shots. Like, Cav Archer Onager is pretty good against the composition from Vinch right now. For Vinch, he was very late on the upgrades, which is what hurt the most. Okay, you've got Trebs. Bit risky if Valas sends the Onager out. These things aren't even Arbalest, guys. These are just crossbows with some imp upgrades. Boom! Black Forest paying off there. Valas trying to block off the light Cav as the light Cav go in for these Onagers, but not good enough. Onager's down. Trebs can't progress out. Elite Skirmer here for the Cav Archers. Vinchester just casually looting his, or losing, not looting. Losing his Trebs to an Onager. And he also casually is trying to use the crossbows against the Onager. This is the... He got the repair bill. Vinchester's so funny, man. But yeah, he's back in business here. He knew he has the eco lead. And I don't think Vinchester was ever really worried here. Despite losing 2 castles, which is normally not a great late game thing. You normally want them set up across the map. He's still got control of the gold. He's still got some good raids coming in. And man, so far, the worst player in Group A, the player who's struggling the most, seems to be Valas. This is a guy who's like top 16. in Red Bull, right? Like this past year. And I think it's the potential to be back there as well. And I do not know his situation. I do not know if he's like studying. I don't know if he took an extended break. I don't know if maybe he's too addicted to Black Forest at the moment. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that Vinchester's back, man. Like Vinchester's playing super good. Feels like a really good style for him to counter this Valas player. And for anyone who worried about Vinchester after his loss to Running 2-1, there probably weren't too many people. He's showing what he's capable of here. Vinchester gets the 3-0. So now there'll be 3 more rounds for both players, right? But in the case of Valas, who hasn't won a game yet, he has to play Doubts, Running. Who am I missing? This group has Vinchester. This group has Doubt. It has ACCM. It has Valas. It has Running. I'm missing some. Oh, Nikov. Valas has to play Nikov. He has to play Doubt, and he has to play Running. And the point at which you probably feel you're safe from relegation is 5 wins. So like 2-1, 2-1, 1-2, and then still you might not necessarily even be safe from relegation. Valas has got to do very well in the upcoming sets. Obviously, that Running versus Valas series will be interesting because they were both players promoted. But Vinchester looking good. He goes up to 4 wins here in Group A after 2 rounds. Obviously, if he plays like that, he's going to end up doing very well in the future as well. Vinchester had his confidence back. He had his swagger back. He had his aggression back there too. And once again, well played from him as he just kind of dominated this game. There was just a consistent theme from Valas of giving up map control and trying to boom. And that style just didn't work well against Vinchester, who punished him at every turn. A good series nonetheless. Hope people enjoyed the cast. And we will have plenty more Titans League all the time. For the live streams, it's going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays for the next 3 weeks. And then there will be more after that, but it just won't be set on those days. It'll most likely be like Wednesday through Sunday to close out the second season or something.